Okay, well, this is video number 2. In video number 1, we talked about what the Spotify trap is, and now we're going to talk in step 1 how we are going to fix that. And as I said in the video before, what was combining all these musicians that were making 6 figures without Spotify or label or any of that was a fan funnel. So what in the heck is a fan funnel, and how is this claim of 400x going to hold up compared to Spotify? Because that sounds too good to be true, right? But I'm going to explain that in this video right now. So a funnel is kind of like a website, but it acts completely different. So if you look at a website, this is Ed Sheeran's website, for example. You can sign up, you have his tour dates, you have the store, you have music, and then in his merch, when you go probably in store and then merch, you have like all these other buttons in here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buttons in here just in this one section alone. So here's a very important phrase that you need to memorize or write down or take a screenshot of or something, because this is very important. In marketing and sales, there's a number 1 golden rule that we have that we use for everything, and that is a confused mind will always say no. So if you have this many options, so many buttons that you can press, people will kind of get overwhelmed and leave. It's kind of trying to find a movie on Netflix or Spotify on Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime or whatever you're using, and you have an overload of options that you're just kind of confused, and then you end up watching no movie, or it takes you forever to find one, or you end up watching a movie you're not really into anyway, right? A confused mind will always say no. And here are like 10 buttons. This is what I mean. This is a funnel, okay? A funnel has 1 action item. It has 1 button. It might have more throughout if you scroll more, but it's always it's always the button that leads to the same thing, okay? And the button does one of 2 things. It either captions an email or makes you on sale. That's it. But you always have one or the other. You don't have both on the same side, okay? And I'm going to explain to you how it works in just a minute. So that's basically what it does. So as you can see here, you like put in your name, put in your email, and eventually sometimes a phone number. So you've probably seen that a lot, right? Where people will ask you for your email in exchange for something else for free, right? In this case, it's the new album Dreamer, or the new single Dreamer, or whatever it is, hit single, okay? Download my hit single Dreamer for free now. This song is not available on any streaming platforms, right? So you can only get it right here. So put in your name and email, and then you click on get my free song. Boom, we have your email, right? And so clarity is king, and that's why we say the bounce rate, which is how long someone stays on your website before they leave, is much higher on a website, because there are just too many options. They get confused, they're overwhelmed, and then they leave. On here, as you can see, it's very clear on what to do, and either you take it or you leave it, and that's it. You only have these 2 options. Okay, so clarity is key, always. If somebody doesn't understand what you're trying to sell them or trying to give them or whatever, then a confused mind will always say no. Okay, so there's So on my search to finding these musicians, one day I was on my phone and I was scrolling through, I think Instagram. So I was scrolling through Instagram, and then I saw an ad, and I didn't know it was an ad at the time, because this was 6 years ago. And I'm like, oh, how to make, I don't know, $1 million online or something. I don't know what the headline was anymore. So I clicked on it, and all of a sudden I wasn't this. Back then I didn't know this, but I was basically in a webinar, basically this sales video, and where this guy, Russell Brunson, popped up. And he was talking about funnels for the first time. This was where I was exposed to what a funnel is for the first time. And I was just freshly married to, well, my husband, of course. We just got married. I think it was just like maybe a month, maybe two. We were just freshly married, and I was sitting on the couch, and I'm on my phone, and now I'm watching this video, and he's talking about these funnels. I'm like, what is going on here? It felt like I was just like so overwhelmed with all this information, what you're probably gonna feel like now in just a minute. And it just, at the end of this, I'm just like, whoa, this changes everything. Like, everything is possible now. I just remember my life being changed. Like, I didn't think that it could be so easy or to do this, right? And it just changed the way I thought about life, about business, and how to make money, especially online. And so the way he explained it is, the way Russell explained it was, there are funnels everywhere, like a digital funnel. Like, there are just funnels everywhere you look. Everything's a funnel, basically, if you look at it that way. So he explained it. Everyone knows McDonald's, right? He's like, McDonald's mainly sells burgers. So if you go to McDonald's and you say, hey, can I have a cheeseburger? What's the first thing they'll ask you? Do you want fries with that? And that is what we call an upsell, right? Do you want fries with that? So the burger is the main product. And as soon as you want to get the burger, then they automatically upsell you and say, hey, you know what else goes really well with burgers? Fries. So do you want fries with that? Okay. And then after that, they'll ask you, hey, do you want a drink? Because a drink also goes really well with what? Fries and burgers. So that is the second upsell. So they're making more money. So you probably didn't want a soda, but because they asked you, do you want one? You're like, well, maybe, yeah, I should get one, right? And then you buy it. And they go so well together that they call it a menu, right? And in our case, in marketing and sales, we call it an offer. If you bundle like products together, it's called an offer. At McDonald's, they just call it a menu. So you just get the cheeseburger menu, right? And then you're already implying that you want the fries and the soda drink, right? So that's what the first thing they ask you, right? The same thing that's applied to music, okay, of course. So let's say you go into the music store and you want to buy another guitar because you don't have enough yet. So you buy a guitar, and if they're a good salesperson, the first thing they're going to ask, hey, do you need, more guitar picks? Do you need more guitar strings or anything else related? Because they're like, if you're buying this main product, what else goes really well with the main product you're already buying, right? So this would be the upsell number one. Be like, do you need picks? Do you need more strings? Do you need whatever it is, right? And then you're like, oh yeah, sure, you know what? I'm actually running low on picks, or I don't have any new guitar strings for this particular guitar. So I have strings for other guitars, but not for this one, right? So then you're like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll buy it. And then the next thing would be, hey, there's no case that goes with the guitar. Do you also want a guitar case? The majority of, or some of the guitars will have the case with it, but there are also a lot of times where the case is not included with the guitar. So it's an extra sale to get the guitar case. So can you kind of see where I'm going here? So you have the main product and you're thinking, what else goes really well with this main product they're already buying? And then you upsell them on that so you make more money overall. So can you see how they're not offering this all at once? They're not all like throwing like, oh, by the way, here's here are picks and here are strings and here's the case, and if you want to get insurance for the guitar, they don't like throw it all up on you at the same time. They offer it bit by bit by bit, right? So the website will be that they just kind of throw everything at you and you're overwhelmed, like, no, thank you. But a funnel, here's the main product, and you buy it, and you're like, hey, by the way, this goes really well. They're like, okay, then you buy it, and then you're like, you know what, this also goes really well. So it's like bit by bit by bit, right? That's what a funnel does. It's a different psychology for the buyer, it's a different buyer experience. It is actually a customer journey. So you're guiding your fans through this customer journey that they're going through. So you're basically controlling the environment that your fans are going on. When they're on a website, you can't control where they're gonna go. It's really, they can just do whatever they want, go wherever they want. So it's really hard to control that environment. But in a funnel, you can really construct every page. So they buy the main thing, and then it automatically pops up the next page. Then they buy that, then it pops up the next page. So it's always, in a sequence. So this is what it would look like. So you have your main offer, then they buy it, then they upsell you, then they buy it, then they upsell you again. So this is just one of many examples for a funnel. There are many, many, many different funnels, as you will learn later on, but I don't want to overwhelm you right now. Okay, so it's basically a customer journey that you're sending your fans on. And what you will see a lot of the time is this, a freebie. Now, this is very, very important because this allows us to do something really cool, and that is to follow up with our new fans, right? So once we have their email, now I can follow up with them. I'm building my email list, and I will show you later on how valuable and important an email list is. It's actually the number one thing that you want to do is build your email list, because that is a list you own. So if Spotify takes down your music, you're like, doesn't matter, because I've got all my fans' contacts email in my email list. So I can just send them directly. I can still get in touch with my fans. If you don't have an email list and Spotify is like, like Cara, we're taking your music off the platform, or Instagram changes its algorithm, or YouTube is, doing whatever, then you have an email list that you control. Okay. And so that's why you'll see this a lot where someone will have a freebie in exchange for the email. So it's not for free, you're paying with the email basically. And that is very valuable for us as a musician as well. We want to start getting the contact information of our fans, because that means I can now follow up with them. This is powerful because this allows me, let's say you have your music on Spotify, you don't get any contact information of them. So when they take down, or let's say they leave your music on there, but every time you put your music, your new album or your new single or new EP on Spotify, you need to re-promote it every single time. Or even worse, you spend money with Spotify every single time to promote your stuff, right? To get you on a playlist or whatnot. So you always have to re-promote, and that is on purpose. But if you just get their email once, and now you own this, and now you can always tell them, hey, you know what? You build and grow this relationship. And when you have then something to promote, you're like, hey, by the way, a new album I'm dropping a new album. You can go listen to it. Now you just get their email once, and now every time everything's for free. Don't have to re-promote and all that stuff, right? And that's the power of the email. So we want to have something for free in exchange for their email address. And then after that, we charge something. So here's an example. Like the picture I had in the beginning, we have our hit single. Say, hey, get my hit single for free in exchange for your email address. And then they are like, hey, cool, this is awesome. They put in their email address. There are other ways. This is just an example. You can put behind the scenes there. You can have a free plus shipping CD if you still have physical CDs that you want to get rid of, or whatever you want to put. That this is just an example, okay? And then they put in their email, and then it pushes them to this second page where you say, hey, if you enjoy my hit single Dreamer, There's the deluxe album that you can get that's not on Spotify, that you can only get here for a special offer of whatnot. And you can get it for $9, for example, right? And they're like, hey, cool, I really love the single, so I think I want to get the album, right? And they're just gonna get the MP3 files. Doesn't have to be the CD. I just put a picture of a CD here. And then once they buy that, it automatically pushes them to the next one. They're like, hey, you know what? There's a live version of the album that you just bought, and if you want it, it's here for a special price. Just because you're here right now and you bought my deluxe album, I have a special price of also $9, and you can get it right here, right? And then if you want, you can have a second upsell where you're like, hey, I have unfinished songs. They're on my phone. They're like demos. They're like, I don't know, 15 unfinished songs. They're just hanging there on my phone. And I thought it would be interesting for you guys to hear like a totally unpolished, 15 tracks. And you can get it for another $5, whatever you want to put the price at. Okay. So now it always pushes them to the next sequence, So can you see how this is like bit by bit and not all at once? Like, oh, here, here you can have my single for free, but I also have a deluxe album, and you can also get my live album. And by the way, I have like 15 unreleased songs on my phone. Do you want them as well? Like, that would be like really overwhelming. And so we're kind of guiding our potential new fan through this journey. And I get to control the entire environment and the journey that they're going on, right? So why is this so revolutionary? Why is this so different than just a normal website? Like, why do we not want to send them to our website, or to like even worse, Spotify? Because you just have one action item right here. Okay. So they basically they either give you your email or they leave. Either they buy the thing that you're showing them or they leave. Right? It's that simple. It's not confusing at all. Right? It's very clear. Like, get this one thing or not. So now I'm going to show you why this is so revolutionary and why this is such a big difference compared to everything else you can do. And I promised you I'm going to 400x this $6 from Spotify, okay? So in our example, just to recap, in the last video, I talked about this, okay? So watch that if you haven't seen it yet. So let's say you have a music video, it gets 50,000 views, which is amazing and is a lot. And you get a 3% conversion rate. I'm not going to explain what that is this time because I already explained it in the last video. So you get a 3% conversion rate, which means you have 1,500 people who want to learn more, who want to check you out. They're like, hey, cool, really cool music video. I want to, learn more about you and your music and all that good stuff. And so you send them to a link. You're like, hey, if you want to learn more, if you want to support me as an independent artist or whatnot, and you send them to Spotify. So that's 1,500 people. And Spotify pays you $0.4. Do you remember how much that is per stream? $6, right? And so we want to change this amount because this is ridiculous for 1,000 people that we're sending over. 1,500 people, that's a lot. And that is just, yeah. I'm not even going to comment on that, but that is just ridiculous. Okay? So what do we do? Why is the slide like right in the middle of... Okay, so first of all, you're growing your email list. Okay? Spotify doesn't even allow you to capture any contact information or anything. Yeah, you get your stats and blah, 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 but they're not that, I would rather get an email and grow my email list than know my stats. I mean, knowing your stats is also important, but I'd rather have their email, right? So a funnel is the very first thing that does that, okay? It gives you the opportunity to get their email, and now you're growing your email list, okay? Now, let's say the album that I was talking about before, you're gonna list it for $9. Be like, get the special bonus right now. You're getting 50% off just because you're here right now. You can get it for $9 instead of $19, right? Then it pushes you to the next upsell, which is, let's say, another $9. These numbers I'm just making up. You can whatever you want to charge for your album, you can do it, okay? But I'm just grabbing some numbers so we can see the difference, right? And then we have a second upsell that's $12, right? These are our 20 unfinished, unreleased songs, right? We're gonna charge $12 for that. Okay, so first of all, the very first thing is we are getting a freaking email so we can follow up with our fans and start growing our email list. And now, and after that, we are starting to make money. And yeah, so this allows us to then follow up once we have their email. And so if we take the average, so ACV stands for average cart value. So here's the thing. Unfortunately, not everyone that goes through this fan funnel is going to buy every single thing. Some people will, but the majority of people won't. Some will just get the freebie and leave. Some will get the main offer and leave. Some will also get the upsell one and then leave. And some people will actually go and buy everything. So you need an average cart value. So over time, you will actually get legit numbers, but I'm just doing the math here. So I just added 9, 9, and 12, which adds up to 30. And then I divided it times 4. This number would even be higher if you only divided it through 3, but I'm just gonna divide it times 4 because this would be a 0, right? So you get an average cart value of $7.50. Now this might sound like a low number, but I will show you how much of a difference this will make in just a second. Okay, so again, not everyone is going to buy everything you're offering, and that is okay. This is the thing, the offer you don't make is the offer they can't take. So just offer, and then they get to decide if they take it or not. But if you never offer it, they will never have the option to buy. So we will always wanna offer. The customer decides when they're done buying, not me, the customer, okay? So that's the beauty of a funnel, is they will decide, you know what, no thank you. And that's fine. So we just need on average, what does a person, a fan, spend with us once we send them the link to this funnel, okay, to our fan funnel. And that gives us an average cart value, if we're just doing straight math, $7.50. But again, this varies depending on your funnel, okay? So now I'm taking the exact same numbers from before, okay? I'm taking the exact 50,000 people who've seen your music video. They're also converting at 3%, and that is 1,500 people want to check you out. So I'm not touching and I'm not changing any of those numbers. The only number that I am changing is when you take those 1,500 new people that want to check you out already, who are interested, and now you do that, you multiply that times 750, which is the average cart value we just got from our funnel. Do you know how much that is? Take out your phone, type it in. I'm going to give you a second. You're not going to believe the number that comes out. It's $11,250. $11,250. Type it into your phone. You're not going to believe it. I did not touch any of the other numbers. There's still 1,500 people that want to already learn more, that are interested in your music. But instead, you're just changing the link. But instead of sending them to freaking Spotify, you get $6, which is not even enough to feed your cat. You now send them to your fan funnel, and now you get $11,250. I didn't touch anything else. I'm just giving them the option to buy something with me after I give them something for free. Okay, Alise. That sounds great and all, but yeah, so here you can see the $6 versus the 11,250. Like, come on. So you're like, okay, Alise, that sounds great, but what I don't get 50,000 views on my YouTube videos. I'm like a super small artist. I'm just starting out. Okay, let's say not 1,500 people want to check you out. Let's say only 500 people want to check you out. Okay, now you would take 500 people want to learn more, that are already interested in your music and you as an artist, and you now divide it times the average card value of your fan funnel. You're still earning $3,750. $3,750 compared to $6. Come on, people. This funnel will outperform freaking Spotify every single time. Okay, Alise, well, I am a really, really small artist. I don't get 500. I don't get 50,000 views, and I only get 100 people that want to check me out. Just 100 people want to check out your music, and you multiply that times 750. That's easy math. That is $750 extra dollars compared to $6. This fan funnel will win every single freaking time. Okay, what would an extra $750 for you do in a month? $750 just because you sent them to your fan funnel instead of Spotify. $750 extra dollars sound good, pretty nice to me. I don't know about you, but I'll take that. All right, Alise, I am really starting from scratch. I have none of this on YouTube, like none. And let's say only one person goes and clicks on your fan funnel. Just one. Just one person wants to know more. 1 times 750 is what? 750. So the 750, if just one person clicks on your fan funnel, just one, and they just buy the deluxe album, that's already $9. Just one person buys it. But if we go with the average card value, it's $750. You made $750. That is still more than what Spotify is paying you. And this is for 1,500. Like if we were fair, we were taking the same numbers, I would also have to multiply 1 times 0.004. Okay? So if you send 1,500 people to Spotify, you only get 6 people. And if I just send one person, I'm not talking about 1,500, I'm just talking about one freaking person, and it goes through your funnel, and you make $750, you still make more with one person than 1,500 to your Spotify. Mic drop. I don't have one, but let me just let that sink in. These $6 represent 1,500 people you sent to Spotify. This is one person. I'm just gonna let it sink in for a second. Okay. So my promise of 400xing this, 400x is the very, very, very low end. That is, if you just make $1 with your funnel, just $1. If your funnel makes you $1, You 400x'd your income compared to Spotify. If you just have your funnel and you're like, hey, buy my album for $1, which is ridiculous, and one person goes and buys it for $1, you just 400x your income. Are you clocking this? Spotify is the worst business model you can have. If you have a fan funnel, it will win every single time because it's designed to do two things. One, capture an email, and two, make you money. That's what it's designed to do at the end of the day. Gosh. Look at that. Take it in. When Russell Brunson told me about funnels for the first time, I was just like, the world isn't what it used to be anymore. Why is not everyone like talking about this? This is crazy. Like, this is a total like underground entrepreneur thing that I now get to teach to musicians. And it breaks my heart when I see musicians send their hard-earned fans to Spotify, because Spotify doesn't care about you, doesn't care about you making money or not, obviously, because it's like giving you fractions of a penny. And so even if you just make $1 with your fan funnel, you make 400 times more. And as you can see with the numbers that I've been showing you, that is way on. Even if you just make $750, that's like what, 2,000 times more than what Spotify pays, right? Okay, so the pros of a fan funnel is you get to decide the price. Like, I just made these numbers up, but they are totally doable for an album, right? $9 is not like, that's cheap still for an album, okay? I'm not charging like $200 for an album. I will show you, I can show you a method. I'm not going to do this in this video series, but there is a method where you can charge $40 for an album if you do it right, okay? But you get to set the price, because when you send your fans to Spotify, you cannot decide the price, okay? So that's the first thing, is you get to decide the price. And then you get to build your email list, and I'll show you in a later video why your email list is worth gold. Like, here's the thing. When Google bought Skype, Google didn't buy Skype because of the software, because Google has its own software, it can do its own thing. Why did Google have to buy Skype? Or why did it buy Skype? Because of its email list, because of the customers. Google wanted the customers, not the software, because it could easily do their own thing, and they did. But they wanted the list. So yes, the email list, your customers' information is worth gold. So yeah, I'll explain later what you can do with your email list that will make you a ton of money. And then your music can't be taken down by any streaming platform. So if Spotify is like, hey, I'm taking your song, your album down because it is with AI bots or any crazy stupid thing like that, like with Kara, you still have your email list, so you don't care. Of course, your song isn't getting the streams, but at the end of the day, it's not paying you, so who cares? Okay, your music can't be taken down by streaming platforms, or can't, changed by an algorithm on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. Like, you control this entire thing, okay? And that is the coolest thing, basically, right? But the biggest pro tip, you can build as many funnels as you want. You can build as many funnels as you want. I just showed you one funnel. And again, when you go through all of these 5 videos and you unlock the music business secrets, a reward video, I will show you how once you start stacking the right funnels on top of each other, they can make you a ton of money. And one of them is making you at least 4K. I mean, I'm being humble here. Can make you at least $4,000 a month with only 500 fans. Okay, so I'm going to show you that in the music business video. So you will want to watch the rest of the videos and do the assignments. Okay, so here's the pro tip. You can build as many funnels as the heck you want. Okay, I just showed an example of one funnel. So once you start stacking your funnels, holy moly, can you imagine the money you could make? Just saying. That's the pro tip. But again, I don't want to, I'm just sticking with the fan funnel right now because for some of you, this is like, again, the first time I heard of this concept, it blew my mind. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Life is not what it was or used to be. So basically, the fan funnel, again, you can build as many funnels as you want. You can start stacking them, but the fan funnel is designed to do one thing, and that is get us the email here. Okay? That's all we want. If we just get the email, like if nobody buys anything and they just give us their email, they gave us something really valuable. They gave us their contact information, right? And so here's the really, really cool thing that blew my mind. So once we get the email, we're good. We're done. Like that's what the fan funnel, again, you have so many funnels after that you can stack, but the fan funnel is designed to do one thing, and that is get your fans for free. And this is how you do it. You basically, you're like, thank you for your email. And now all the money you're making here, you're putting it back into, and that's what we call, now you have an advertising budget. Because, you know, wherever you're getting your fans from your Instagram, from your YouTube channel, from a podcast that you're either doing or that you are, that you're either hosting or that you are an interviewer on or being interviewed on, or if you're on, you know, Facebook or just word of mouth or Pinterest or even a concert, let's say, like you're getting people in from somewhere, right? And once you have these numbers, once you're making this money, and let's say you're not pocketing that, you're not taking it and buying a new car or, you know, getting a new guitar or whatnot. You're not pocketing this money, not this one. You are going to reinvest that into wherever you want to. So that can be to get on to collab with a YouTuber, or to get on a podcast, or to even buy ads if you want to. Now they're for free, because this money that you're making, you're just dumping into whatever traffic source you want to do. Because if your email, you have the contact information, you can now get that, you can use the money for free advertising. Right now you have an advertising budget for the first time, okay? So this is what the power of this is. You can take, so this would be your fan funnel. You get the email. This money, you go and dump back into advertising, okay? So this is, now you're getting free. This is the most mind-blowing part of this entire thing. I hope you're tracking. Because this fan funnel, this one fan funnel, its only job is to get your fans ideally for free. Because you got their email, you're building your email list. All of this money that you're making, you're not pocketing it, you're dumping it back into your advertising, organic or paid, doesn't matter, but you're dumping it. Now you have an advertising budget. And now when everything you're doing after that, so every album, every EP, every single, every merch, every ticket, every collaboration you're doing after, now is pure profit for you. Because now you've got a list that your fan funnel is creating 24/7 for you until you turn it off. And again, you just set it up once and then it just runs for you. So this is just getting you fans 24/7 while you sleep. And then you get that email. That's all we want. We get that email. Now when we have something to promote, again, don't treat your email list like a booty call though. You want to always build a relationship with them. You always want to be, talking with them. So once you do have something to promote, it will feel natural and not feel like, oh, I'm only emailing my list when I need something. Okay, so don't do that. Don't use it as a booty call. So just on a weekly basis, go and always, share some stories, build a relationship. And then when you do have something to promote, you can then send it to them. And now that money, so those are other funnels. Let's say you have two other funnels or whatnot. That is what you're going to pocket. This is your pure profit. So every funnel after that is pure profit. That is making money for you. Okay. How awesome is this? This one funnel has one job. That is to get emails. The money you're making, you're dumping that into advertising. Then you're going to grab the email, and every funnel you're using after that is designed to make you the dough, the cash, the money. And again, you can build as many funnels as you want. Okay? Now that's the pro level, guys. And if you're really crazy, if you're really insane, you can have multiple freebies. You can have multiple fan funnels. You don't need to have one fan funnel. You can have more and then get even more emails. Okay? Gosh, I love it. Okay, so the next question will be, how do I build a freaking fan funnel? This is amazing. This is just mind-blowing. This just changed my world and my life forever. What the heck is happening with my life? So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually build a fan funnel. I'm going to show you my software that I use, and I'm going to build out that fan funnel, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Like, not only is it amazingly mind-blowing of what it can do, but how easy it is actually to use and set up. You can have your fan funnel going in, 10, 15 minutes maybe, if you already have all the pictures and stuff. I can show you how easily you can set it all up. Okay, so how do I build a fan funnel? How do I build my digital stage? Well, we're gonna talk about that in the next video, so you definitely want to watch that. But for now, here's your assignment. You already did step 1. Congratulations. You just watched the entire video from beginning to the end. Congratulations. You can tap yourself on the shoulder for that. We need to applaud ourselves more for what we're doing. And then the second thing is, in the comment section under assignments, you want to tell me 2 things, please. Is what is your biggest takeaway, and what is your biggest concern and challenge when thinking about the fan funnel? So go and do that. So if you're watching on YouTube, you want to go to alisecoa.com/free. It will take you to a website, or now I can tell you, it's going to send you to my funnel. And once you put in your email, I'll send you the link to the secret community. So you can also unlock this free bonus, which is called the Reward Music Business. It is the Music Business Secret reward video that you get to unlock. Again, you can only unlock that within 5 days. If you take longer than 5 days to watch these videos and do the assignments, you will not be able to unlock this reward video. No exceptions whatsoever. So keep going, keep watching the next video. Once you do, then you can unlock the Music Business Secrets reward video, where I will show you, again, this is just one funnel that I'm showing you. There are multiple funnels. There are like free plus shipping funnels, there are webinar funnels, there are subscription funnels, there are pre-order funnels, there are like so many different types of funnels. And I'm going to show you one very special funnel that will make you $4,000 a month with only 500 fans. So if you want to know what that is, you want to keep watching and do your assignment. Go into the community. If you're already in the community, go into the community tab, and I'll see you in the next video. Mahalo. Bye.